Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to another review. Today we're going to talk about the Mythic Legion's Bryophytus from the All-Star Wave 4, or if you were at PowerCon, it was a PowerCon exclusive, and it was him and the Stinkor tribute figure. Now, Bryophytus is a tribute to Mossman from He-Man, Masters of the Universe stuff, and it's crazy because I am a super casual He-Man fan. I don't do too much of the He-Man stuff, but if a figure is well done, it's well done. And I love Mythic Legion stuff, so I had to have this guy, and it's crazy because he's flocked, and I just finished doing Mosquatch. He actually appears in my Mosquatch video, but it's cool because his flocked is actually different than Mezco's flocked. But I like what I got here, and it's mostly because it fits the Mythic Legions theme, not so much as what's different than what's in the Mezco one. But for photographs, I've seen Trevor, aka 1/6 Shooter, do some crazy stuff, and here I am just like, man, I gotta find a way to do some cool shit too. So here we are, and I just really love their sculpt. And the way it's flocked, it just looks really good. And despite having not certain areas flocked, I'm okay with that because when you're doing certain poses, it lines up just perfectly. Now, if you've seen any Mythic Legions review of mine, you know these bodies are all modular, pretty much the same. But if you haven't, let's say you're just running across this one for whatever reason, let's go over the articulation. Now, our head can somewhat look up, can look down, we can go left and go right. There's not too much tilt action going on here. Our arms, now, because of its flocked, I wanted to test it, but it actually does and can hit its proper T-pose. You may lose a little bit of flocking up here, depending on how yours is flocked. It may vary person to person. Now, we have our forearm swivel. You can actually hit it to close about a 90-degree angle. Looks more like an 80-degree angle. We can go back outward. We have our armor gauntlet swivel. That can swivel as well. And we have a horizontal hinge for the hands. Yep, it's on both hands. I had to double check because now we're getting new cool stuff. We have our waist swivel, and these can actually get really deep. As you can see, I can still rotate it around on that joint and not have to worry about anything. Our leg articulation is awesome because we can actually bust a split. So if you're at Carnival, this guy's hitting it, no problem. We actually have a thigh swivel as well, and we have a joint that goes upward and a single cut joint that cuts about this far. Our our foot articulation can go backwards, forwards, and rotate inward and outward with no issue. So posing these guys up are one of those things where it's like, depending on how you pose or you hit a certain fantasy realm, it's going to be able to depend on your ability to actually make them look good. Like if you want them to just stand up and look cool, you'll have no problem. If you want to get some crazy cool poses, some stuff you're just not going to be able to get. But that shouldn't deter you because depending on what you like and how your very interests are, certain things may work out for you. You know, some it may not work out for. But with Mythic Legions, I personally always find a way, and that gets me excited. But I don't know if you guys notice, there are little tiny shades of flocking going on. The more I touch him, the more he flakes. This was not an issue I personally had with the Mosquatch, but it is something I have with him. And it kind of sucks, but it's not going to deter me because I still really like the way this guy came out. But again, it's one of those things, very interesting. So let's take a step back with this guy and let's talk about what he comes with. So let's get to that. We have our alternative head. I really like this bearded moss head. I mean, like you have it kind of here on the chin and stuff like that, but the bearded moss head just kind of fits that coolness factor for me. I really, really like that. I like the way it looks. Then we have our Mage Staff. This is it not completely connected. We actually have an end piece here, and this will make it your Mage Staff as you plug that in. So now you have mystical powers. If that's not enough, you have an actual mace or a club or a spiked club. This would be to beat the bricks off your opponents. This is also quite important, depending on if you want to go from the magical to the physical. You could technically call him a Mossman Paladin. Then we actually have a dagger, which actually has a sheath for it as well. You can actually add this on too. It's a little clip here because he does get a bandolier. Bandoliers are important for carrying things, man. I keep telling people that. And then you'll also get shoulder armor. So again, I guess, you know, I love the shoulder armor stuff, but it always makes me laugh because it's like, how does one put on shoulder armor with no other parts of armor on? But I guess that's why you add the bandoliers, to add that little look for it. And that's why it's pretty cool. So those are what you get with accessories, and it's really short. It's really sweet. But again, these kind of things, they get me going because it's so cool to get more fantasy stuff, especially when, even as a tribute figure, which is the Mossman, right? I don't know anything about true history of Mossman. I barely watch He-Man, but I'm out here like, yo, this is a cool Mossman, and I'm gonna buy it because it does something different for me. But then again, things get me going for photography, so that's that. But let's jump into the size comparison as we compare to other legions and other stuff, and I'll see you guys in a second. And now we're on to the size comparison, and first things first, let's compare with other legions. So here we are with my Tiger Man that I've made with a Fauna's body, kind of swapped up some parts, made him look like a cool armored Tiger Man, right? That is on a 1.0 style body. Here we are with a 2.0 style body, as we have my homegirl, Adriana. Boom. There we go, that smallness. But I enjoy this because it's one of those things, like I said, where I like the different kind of sizes. It gives you a real life emphasis on stuff, right? And then we have cool stuff like the goblin / dwarf body, depending on how small it is. This one is definitely going to be goblin style. But here's our Kitsune that we got from Wolf King Customs. Size-wise, as you can see, pretty cool. But then we have other stuff, right? And there's cool stuff like Mosquatch I wanted to compare. Because as you can see, their flocking is different, right? His is more of a aligned flocking. This is more of a growth-like flocking. And that's kind of why I like why they're different, because despite the fact that they're still flocked, it's really cool because the different styles actually give you a different look. And I like that. I like different kind of stuff like that, where you can mix and match and have some fun. Crossing things over for a long time has really been my thing. And how you can make two different things work and still look natural with each other. I really enjoy that kind of aspect of photography and collecting. So let's move Mosquatch here. Let's compare to some other stuff. So here we are with a green ninja. I guess green is the theme today, from Articulated Icons. I still have to finish my ninja video. Keep forgetting that. Here we are with Flint from G.I. Joe. Here we are with a Gomez. In case you want to compare a Mezco, here is a Hazard Commander Gomez, right? Everybody looks good. Different sizes, different things. And I like that, like I said, my Mossman can work with Mosquatch. I can have it fight a He-Man character. Speaking of, in case you want to do the new He-Man, right? Even if your Moss guy's a little bit smaller, even if we move those legs up, be a little bit smaller, it still works. So let's say you want a He-Man to fight orcs. Now you know that Mythic Legions work in scale with this. So yeah, this video gave you other types of information. Here we are with an SH Fig Arts Kamen Rider Kuga, our small guy, letting you know scale and score wise. Here we are with a Lightning Collection, Tom Force Red. And in case you want to have him be like a Star Wars character or fit in that universe of Star Wars, because let's say you go to a different planet. That's the whole point of going to different planets and galaxies. Here we are with a Jump Trooper looking pretty cool. Yeah, and I think that about rounds us all out, right? I enjoy stuff like this. Again, the flock thing may be a deterrent for some people, and that's totally fine. I get it, and I understand. But if you want to take the chance on this figure and have some fun with Mossman, which is what I'm going to call him from now on, I might even put it in the title. But yeah, I enjoy it. Hopefully you guys enjoy the photos at the end. Thank you so much, as usual, for watching. Stay out of trouble. I hope you're doing well. Bundle up. It's getting cold outside for those of you who are in places that get cold. And as always, please be good, do good, drink your water, guys.